This is the last thing that we are adding into our graphing sine and cosine is phase shift. And a phase shift is this, not that, but this plus c on the inside that moves us left or right. And remember, a plus moves us to the left and a minus moves us to the right. You know, inside does opposite of what you think. So in this case, we're going to move right pi over 2 units. So we are no longer going to be starting at 0, 0 or 0, 1, but we're going to be moving over a little bit and doing a phase shift. So if we're looking at all the pieces here, our amplitude is 2. Okay, there's no number right here to change our period, so the period is still 2 pi. The vertical shift has gone up 2, which means our midline has moved to y equals 2. And this time we have this phase shift that moves us right pi over 2 units. So I'm going to put my cosine parent table here, and 0, pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. 1, 0, negative 1, 0, 1. So when I write my rule, I'm going to have x plus pi over 2, because I do opposite. My y is going to be 2y plus 2. So that's what's on the outside. So this is going to be pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, and then 5 pi over 2. So my period stayed the same. You'll notice I go from 0 to 2 pi. Here I go from 5 pi over 2 to pi over 2. But if I subtracted these, what is the distance between them? I would get 4 pi over 2, which is still, like I wrote over here, 2 pi. So the period stayed 2 pi, even though it didn't start at 0 and it didn't end at 2 pi. A big mistake is just saying that this last number here is where the period ends, but it's not the case because it starts at pi over 2. So then these I'm going to go 2 plus 2 is 4, 2, 0, 2, and 4. So the top of mine goes up to positive 4. My midline has now changed to y equals 2. The bottom goes down here to 0. And then if I mark these off at pi over 2, imagine each of these are pi over 2. At pi over 2, I am at 4. I'm at the top of my cosine curve. And then I can continue plotting these. And so my picture looks something like this, where I don't actually start right here at 0, 0. So sometimes I think it's helpful too to mark that in. So the biggest thing today is a phase shift, and then being okay with adding fractions. Hopefully you're getting more comfortable with this, but being able to identify the phase shift.